I'm here in Manchester in the heatwave of 2015, where it's 28 degrees Celsius. The highest recorded temperature was on the 1st of July in Heathrow, where it was 36.7 degrees Celsius. This is the highest July recorded temperature since 2006, and it's the second highest recorded temperature on record. The first was in 2003. So how are you enjoying the heatwave, guys?
Well, it's really good. It's really hot. I've been waiting for this a long time. I mean, you never get good weather in Britain, so.
Yeah, getting some cricket in, taking the dog for a walk, so yeah, it's nice.
So how are you enjoying the heatwave this week?
I'm really enjoying the heatwave. I think it's a very pleasant surprise, especially in July, because normally we spend most of the time in the rain, so I think it's brilliant.
Many people are out enjoying the sunshine this afternoon, but some scientists predict that by 2050 we could be seeing temperatures such as this once every 2 years. So what does that mean for the UK?
So the Met Office suggests that a heat wave is a prolonged period of hot weather. A good example of a heat wave in recent living memory was the very hot summer of 2003, when the UK had heat wave conditions for 10 days.
So how is the UK's natural environment and the human population affected by heat waves?
It changes the flow regime that the river is under. Flow regime is very important to river, and this is how much water's in the river, the timing of that water, how long it stays in the river system, and how that varies year on year. And the river is very much attuned to this flow regime. If we have lower flows in the river, then we're going to have a change in the flow regime, which will mean that we have a change in the distribution of habitats within that river and an influence on the species. Many of the species within that river system are synchronised with these periods of higher and low flows. So low flows, increase in the low flows in the river system will have an impact on the physical river and also on its ecology.
One of the major effects for heat waves is, unfortunately, human mortality. So there were an increased number of deaths during the heat wave in 2003, both in the UK and in continental Europe, particularly in France, particularly among the elderly. Some of these deaths were attributed to heat stress, but also there's an issue of worsening air quality, because when there's a heat wave there tends to be high pressure and still air over an area, which means the pollutants build up.
Government figures suggest in 2003, 2,000 people died from heat-related health problems. I went to University Hospital South Manchester in Wythenshawe to find out why this is becoming a problem and how it affects the NHS.
During the summer months we usually see an increase in particularly elderly patients in A&E. It's in most cases relatively easy to treat. It's just a case of fluid replacement, but people can actually be quite poorly, and the problem is a lot of elderly patients go unnoticed for so long because they don't have anybody around to notice the general deterioration. Obviously there's going to be a massive burden on the emergency departments. More people presenting increases the strain on already stretched thin resources. Increase in patients in hospitals. We also need to lead to much more careful environmental management, making sure people have got the best facilities available.
So not only can heat waves be dangerous for our health, they can change ecosystems and affect water supplies. But there are some positive sides to increased temperatures, such as higher crop yields.